Good morning, Shine On. How's everybody doing today? My name is Jim Cremella, and I will be your host for Coffee with Shine On today. I am so super excited to be here, and I hope that you have your pads of paper, your pens, and your thinking caps on, because I'm going to bring it today. You are going to get some of the most sought after knowledge that you didn't even know you needed. And it's going to make the difference between a giant Q4 for you and a ho-hum Q4 for you. If you implement, if you do the hard work, and all of the success will be yours. So as we're kind of getting starting here, if you want to go ahead and say hello in the chat or in the comments, depending on if you're on YouTube or on Facebook. Good morning, David. How are you guys doing today? Good morning, Grammy. If you guys want to go ahead and say, welcome, just so I know everything is functional. If you can give me a quick thumbs up for those of you that are watching in the comments, just to let me know that you can A, see me, and B, hear me. That way I can go ahead and get started. Good morning, Ron. Hello, Facebook user. Gotta love StreamYard with the Facebook users. All right. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. Got thumbs up, thumbs up. All right. So if you can't hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, awesome. So today I want to talk about how you properly split test your entire product funnel, because most of what we cover in Coffee with Shine-Ons are really high level stuff. And the technical side of it is mostly centered around product creation, phrase research, how to create the winning product. And yes, that is a vital component to making your campaign successful. However, it's just one component, okay? You need to have a holistic mindset about your entire funnel. So yes, the funnel starts with product creation. If you don't have a great product, no one's going to care about it. No matter what you do, no matter how good of an ad buyer you are, no matter how good you are at product page development or CRO testing, none of that's going to matter if the product on the front end is not perfect or not very good. Okay. So yeah, I'm not discounting the importance of creating that. What I'm saying is you could get a break-even front-end product to become profitable with what I'm about to teach you. You can create a just barely profitable product and add what I'm about to teach you and make it scalable, right? Because making great ROAS, great ROI on your ad dollars is fantastic. But if you're still only making $10, $15 a day, $20 a day, that's not life-changing. That's not our goal. I don't think any of us are here to make $20 a week or something like that. We want life-changing money. Now, therefore, I can't guarantee everybody's success, anybody's success. I can't even guarantee my own, right? But what I can do is share with you my over decades of experience of running dozens and dozens of product funnels to the tune of over $37 million in sales and counting. So that's what I'm going to bring to you. All I ask in return is that you bring your full attention and some energy, and make sure Jim can see your name up there. Thanks, Robin. Appreciate you. So let's go ahead and dive in. I know we've got some beginner slides to sort of housekeeping stuff to get to before we get to the meat of it. So let's dive into that. So first, go ahead and like this post, drop some loves in the comments. Share it on your social media platforms, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. That helps the algorithm juice this so more and more people can see it, because we want to help as many people as we possibly can. Thank you so much for that. Let's cover some swag winner. Last week recap, we got Courtney Ward. Courtney says, guys, I have to share. I have been launching ads for POD, t-shirts, mugs, blankets, and nothing, nada. But I decided to start focusing on Shine On because the inspiration videos I see on YouTube give me so much hope that it will work. So my second Shine On product, I got my first sale, and the customer ordered 5 units. I cried. I was so happy. Corey, I'm going to stop right there. I've done that. I have gotten to like a level of sales, a level of success where I remember it to this day. I was sitting in my car at a red light. I was like first to go, super. It's like that worst best spot. It's the worst spot because you didn't quite make the light, but it's the best spot because you don't have any slow people in front of you. I'm sitting there and I happen to glance down at my Shopify store and I forget what milestone it was. I don't know if it was $1 million in a week or so. I mean, it was a major milestone. Like I've done some really big numbers, and I just sat there and was that guy that needed to get the horn honked at because I had a tear rolling down my face because I got choked up for that. So I feel you on that. I'm so excited for you. I honestly couldn't believe it. I checked Shopify multiple times, LOL, and then got another sale this morning. This has given me so much hope when I was ready to give up. Test, test, test. I see that's what it's all about. Keep pushing, guys. Ready to see what happens in Q4. She's absolutely right. If you have not found your success yet, if you have not found that first scalable winner yet, you have to keep testing. You can't just create one thing and then guarantee it's going to work. I've been doing this a long, long, long time. I still have to test sometimes 20, 30, 40 products before I get that scalable winner. The difference is I have some experience that I can see, hey, this has got potential, this doesn't have potential, and I can gauge a winner, right? Sometimes you get a base hit. Sometimes it's a double. Sometimes it's a home run. Very rarely are you ever going to set up a product and it just goes on fire, right? What I'm going to cover today is going to help ensure that you build a more and more profitable campaigns by taking something that's break even or taking something that's slightly profitable, adding these tools to it so that you can squeeze out as big of an order value as you possibly can and convert as many people as you possibly can. Get free swag. So if you want free swag like Courtney's getting, each week we randomly draw anywhere from 1 to 5 posts from the group to gift some swag. For a chance to get yours, you just have to post. Okay, can post one of the following in the group, whether it's a testimonial post with screenshots of sales like Courtney did, or a value post about what's working for you. Maybe you found a new niche. Maybe you found an ad setup that worked better. Maybe you found a scaling strategy that works. Maybe you found your first success in a different product category, right? Like we're broadening the number of products that we are providing to you guys so that you can take advantage of all things, not just jewelry lovers, but home decor and our acrylic signs and the things we have on our deck, coming up are amazing and super exciting. So don't be afraid to test new stuff, because oftentimes if you test things that are in the untested waters with proven methodology, that's where the real big money is made. Also, any tips, tricks, or hacks to help others succeed, those are all great posts that will enter you into winning free swag on our Coffee with ShineOns. Latest news from ShineOn. We got our new message card publisher. It is published, ready to go for you. So what is this? Think of it like kind of like Customly, but very boiled down. Okay. Meaning we're allowing you inside of our own app to add customizable text boxes now. So you can see in To My Soulmate Shine On, that is now a customizable box. So you can add that text box, choose from a drop down of a few different fonts that we have, and then the customer can customize their message card. So it could be To My Soulmate Heather, To My Soulmate Maria, To My Soulmate whomever, right? And then you can make it personal down below too. So instead of saying love your husband or love whatever, a lot of people have nicknames, right? Like, so for my wife, if she's watching, she's going to get embarrassed. Apologize, honey. But I call her, she's my honey bunny, right? So I'd be like, To My Honey Bunny versus To My Soulmate. That connects to us on a more personal level. And that's what these boxes, these new customizable text boxes allow you to do. They allow you to create a uniquely personal one-to-one gift item. And that is what's going to allow you to supersede and overcome all the competitors in the marketplace that don't offer this kind of stuff. RIP Shine On Challenge. So months of research, sweat, and many tears. I'm sorry to say that we have shuttered the Shine On Challenge currently. However, but if you have your login info, the challenge is still available to you. Contact support if you need any help. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that is on our, like I said earlier, we got a whole bunch of stuff that's on deck that's coming up for you guys. We have new amazing things coming soon, so stay tuned to that. If you have your login already to the challenge and you've just been postponing it, not taking action on it, this is my challenge directly to you. Do this right now. When we are done with Coffee with Shine On, make a point, make an agreement and a commitment to yourself that you're going to go through it. Those that go through it, over 90% of them got their first sale. That's not made up data. That's actual track data. But to get your first sale through the challenge, you actually have to do the challenge, right? So do the challenge. Okay. ShineOn and custom integration. We've been working very hard with our friends over at Customly to make our API integration even better, to make it simpler and faster for you guys to set up your templates on Customly. So I borrowed this from the group as well. It says, get ready for Christmas. You can automate your fulfillment, available on both Shopify and Etsy. There's lots of free clip arts that you can use. So what are the clip arts? These little things here. So you see little puppies on the notebook. So little puppies, you can customize which puppy goes where, and then they can customize the name. If you've been around for a while, you'll know that you have. So in this one, in the card where it's got the lady in the sweater and the dog and the presents. So the lady, you can customize the color of the hair, the style of the hair, what she's wearing, the type of dog. Again, do you sense a common trend here about what's going to work for you more in Q4? Personalized, customized products. Yeah, it's a little bit of extra work, but that's why it's so good, because most people don't want to do that little bit of extra work. They just do just barely enough to get their product out there. This allows you to get one-to-one products to your customers to make it super personal. So take advantage of that as well. Andrew Vo giveaway. There is a giveaway coming up on TikTok about his TikTok stuff. Chapter 1, before running a TikTok ad, please remember these. So that is going to be giveaway. And I think that should have been a hidden select. I don't have any more information on that, so I apologize on it. But if you have questions on Andrew Vo's giveaway, go ahead and just tag him in the comment section of this video, and he'll be able to answer and fill in for that. Best way to stay caught up is check our featured section in the group. So you're already here if you're on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not a member of our Facebook group, we highly recommend that you join it. It's absolutely free. ShineOn Profits on Demand. It's in the feature section. Once you're joined and you're a part of the group, you just click the feature tab, and then all of the most relevant features, content, trainings that we provide are in the feature section. So definitely check that out. All right. And this, I don't know if this will slide. So unfortunately, I don't know how to make the GIF work when I embed this stuff into Stream Deck. So Michael is supposed to jump into the coffee. He does the coffee because he likes coffee. I like water, so I drink water. But it is now time for the Digital Marketer's Toast. So grab whatever beverage you have, and here we go. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, or flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enabled ad accounts and big bank accounts, to upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, to winning to the thing that everybody knows. The riches are in the niches, but also in your email flows. Ready? Salute. All right, now I feel like I can get my day going. Anybody else feel like that? Like when we do this Coffee with ShineOn stuff, you can't really start anything until you do the Digital Marketer's Toast. You know, I do. All right, so let's go ahead and how to properly split test your entire product funnel. You ready? And out your notebooks, because we're about to dive in. Now, top of funnel. Now, Jim's going on from marketer mode into teacher mode. So if I go super deep and teacher-y, ask questions in the comment section, okay? You feel free to that. And then if I get through all the training, then I'll make sure I go through and answer any questions that you have, right? Okay. So where do you start your funnel, right? It's obviously your product. You have to design product or products to test. And then the first part of your funnel are your ads. So ad creatives matter. What you put in and around your ad creative matters. How your product looks on the ad matters. Now, for most of us, when we're doing our product testing, we're going to be focusing on image ads, right? Image ads are what we're predominantly going to be messing with when we're first product testing. Once we have a winner or we find something that's got traction, then we'll probably order samples, get some videos done, or do videos ourselves, and then start split testing some ad videos. But when we're doing testing, it's much faster to test on images. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's faster. Okay, so speed to implementation helps. So I still test with all images, okay? At least when I'm testing messages and niches and things like that. Then when I narrow in, then I start peppering in different videos and things of that nature, okay? So how do I currently run my tests? When I set up products to run for Q4, how am I going to run those tests? And the ad setup is a DCT ad. Now, I know that a lot of people have very polarizing viewpoints on DCT. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's dynamic creative test, okay? So you actually toggle that feature on in the ad set section of a Facebook ad or a TikTok ad. And you're basically telling either Facebook or TikTok, hey, I'm going to give you some images or videos, and I'm going to give you some text, and I want you just to split test all of it, and then you figure out what works the best, all right? It pains me to say this, but I'm starting to trust the algorithm a little bit more. Not so much because I want to, pretty much because I don't have much of a choice. If you can read the tea leaves of where Facebook's been going since iOS 14 in 2021 through now and where we're going future, right? They are trying to take the control away from the individual marketer and give it to their AI. So where your job as a marketer is to create great products, awesome ads, awesome creatives, and then budget. That's our job. That's becoming our job. The hacky part of Facebook ads or TikTok ads, it may still work, but it's much harder to scale those than it used to be. That used to be how you scale. You would find a hack, like a specific manual bid strategy coupled with, well, if this worked today, I'm going to scale it today, and then I'm going to drop the budget tomorrow and go back, and intraday scaling and intraday dropping and all that stuff. There's super high bid caps, super low budgets, all these tips and tricks and stuff that I made my living off of. They're not nearly as effective as they used to be. So I'm playing Facebook's game. I'm getting rewarded for doing so. Meaning the way I set my ads up are on a dynamic creative testing basis. And the way I set the ads up are the following. I will give Facebook, so when you do DCT ads, you get one ad. And in that one ad structure, you can add up to 10 media, 10 primary text, and 10 headlines. That's a lot to test. I don't do all of that. I do give it 3 ad creatives. So when I do an image test, I will give it 3 images. And then as you can see, these are images, image, image, image. And then Facebook will automatically generate a video for you. I don't like that one, but you don't really have control over not doing, like not allowing them to do that. So unfortunately, I don't know how to not have that video. So Facebook will do that. In totality, the video maybe got 5% of the budget. So it wasn't huge anyway, just a way for them to test something additional. So I do 3 ad images, 2 primary texts that are written for me on ChatGPT. So what do I do? How do I get ChatGPT? Well, on my last Coffee with ShineOn, I kind of talked about that. But in a nutshell, what you do is you go to ChatGPT and you physically say, hey, I'm a marketer. I own a jewelry company. I want to sell a product that has this beautiful necklace, describe the necklace, and then comes with a message card that is this message, that conveys this message. Please write me a fantastically converting, that will guarantee to get a click, primary text to sell this product. And then let ChatGPT go to work, and it'll spit out a couple of them. And if you ask it to write 2, it'll write 2. If you say write 5, it'll write 5, and then you can pick your favorite 2 out of it. Does that make sense? So just letting you know, that's how I'm doing it right now. Headlines, I do 2 different headlines, and one I write, which is very sales oriented, like get 50% off or get this for a limited time, blah, 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 something to entice the click on an offer basis, right? So I give a very big offer with a scarcity add onto it. So something along the lines like give 50% off while supplies last would be like a standard headline that I would write. And then in addition, I'll go back to ChatGPT in the same thread where I had it write the primary text. I'll also say, hey, can you write me a headline that will guarantee to get a click off of this primary text that's selling this product? And then it'll write it. So that's how I do my ads. Okay. Targeting, broad. I don't do targeting. Facebook knows. Facebook will read your product. It knows what products you're selling. It can read all that stuff. The little algorithm can do that. Okay. So I'm just saying, you need to focus on great products and great images or great videos to entice people to watch them, to want to interact with them. And then the ad algorithms really are taking over. I'm not saying that the traditional hacky stuff that I've done, like I'm not knocking it, right? I've done it for over a decade. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work. What I've seen over this last year is that stuff works, but you can't scale. I've had a really hard time scaling it that way. So what I have found able to scale is using this type of technique where I give Facebook money to figure it out. I give it great creatives and a great product, and I'm getting rewarded for it. Take that as you will. Okay. This is where most people stop, by the way. They work really hard at creating, their products. They work really hard at putting their ads up, and then they just expect it to just work. And if it doesn't work, then what do? Well, we go and test different audiences, right? You're like, oh, well, I got this product and it worked best on this audience. And I'm going to go test 55 different audiences. Oh, it didn't really work in the 55 audiences. What do I do now? I'm stuck. I just wasted all this money. Right. Because the ad algorithm is changing or has changed. It's not as effective. Like there's literally some ad accounts that you can select a button that you don't even get to choose your audience anymore. There's no point. Right. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody. Most people can still pick audiences. And I'm not saying that's totally ineffective. What I'm saying is, as this year continues to progress, as we go into the future, it's going to be less and less and less important and less effective. That's what I've seen personally as I've run my own ads over the last couple of years. So how do you get something to work then? Well, again, it boils down to a great product with good ads. Okay. So that's our challenge now as business owners. It's not necessarily having to learn how to be a Facebook genius anymore. It's more along the lines of how do you create a fantastic product that the market hasn't seen 1,000 times, that's excited to buy, right? So that's our challenge. So the start of our funnel are ads. You want to tweak ads as far as creatives and products. And if you're not getting the traction you want, it's probably your creatives or your product, right? It's more than likely not the ad structure or the setup of audiences, or did I include all placements, or did I exclude audience network, or that stuff used to matter. That stuff used to be a requirement to be profitable on Facebook and TikTok style ads. Now, not as much, right? So what's the second step then? Well, the second step is don't forget about your product page. Now, we work really hard at ShineOn and provide you some really pretty good setups for product pages. But if you really want to squeeze every tiny little juicy add to cart that you possibly can out of your product page, here's some things that I invite you to do. Now, if you don't know anything about coding, if you don't know anything about all of that stuff, I would highly encourage you pick up a little bit of knowledge on CSS. You don't need to know how to code the page. The page is done for you, right? But I would highly recommend you figure out how to do CSS. CSS are the styles of the page. CSS allowed me to create this banner block that says exclusive sale 50% off today. The CSS allowed me to change the color of my shopping bag button. Add to shopping bag is green. I like it. There's only two highlighted colors on this page. This reddish, the orangish red, so it's like a softer red, and then the bold green. Okay, that's what I like. You shouldn't have 15 different colors on here. Why? Because our eyes don't know where to focus. So I want big, bold, and red so that I call out this is important, right? Because red's like alert. That's what we feel subconsciously, alert. That draws me to this banner. Oh, this sale's only for today. I better get it if I really want it. And then green means go. So I don't know if, I'm sure you could split test and spend CRO dollars about maybe for your color palette and your branding, a purple add to shopping cart bag button works better. For me, I like green. Green means go. Red's alert, so I get attention. Green means go, ready to go. Okay. What is the total objective of your product page? Okay. And let's back up. What is the objective of your ad? Your ad is not to sell your product. Your ad is to entice a click. When you ask the ad to sell your product, meaning get up from I'm interested in it, I'm curious about it, all the way to here's my credit card on an ad, that's asking too much of the ad. So the ad's job is to entice curiosity and interest to get the click. That's the only job of the ad. The only job of the product page, again, is to provide the value, to justify the cost of the product, and the value that they're going to receive in exchange for the cost is going to be so much more than the cost that it's stupid if they don't buy it, right? So that job is just to get an add to cart. That's the only job of the product page, is to get that add to cart. How can we split test different versions of our product page to increase add to cart rate? Because realistically, what do you judge on the ad? Most of us, we put up the ad, and if we don't get sales, it's a failure. Not necessarily. You got to look at cost per link click and CTR link click, okay? That's really the metric that you're judging about the effectiveness of the ad. If you're averaging under $2 cost per link click, you got a good ad. So if you've got under $2 cost per link click and you're not profitable or you're not getting sales, your problem is not the product or the ad. It's somewhere down the funnel. Okay. So step one, ads. What do we look at on ads? Do we have a cost per link click cheaper than $2? If it's cheaper than $2, we got a fairly good chance of this being at least break even, if not profitable. If you got a $4 cost per link click, there's no chance that you're going to be profitable. Okay. That's just reality. Now, on our product page, again, we judge the effectiveness of our product page by the cost per add to cart, the add to cart rate, the number of add to carts. Okay. This is a little bit more subjective now after the iOS change in 2021, meaning not every add to cart that happens on your product page is going to register on Facebook. Now, I will say the attribution for just straight Facebook setup has gotten a lot better from 2021 until right now. It is a lot better. It's a lot more accurate. And if you're pushing small traffic, like I'd say under $400 a day in traffic, Facebook's like 85, 90% tracking all of your stuff. It's never really been higher than that, to be real honest with you. Okay. So letting you know when you're testing and you're doing small budgets, you can pretty much trust the data you're seeing inside of Facebook for the most part. Now, if you start scaling to like multiple thousands of dollars a day, your attribution loss is going to, that percentage is going to go higher. But it's also natural because as you push more traffic, more organic people are going to see the stuff, and therefore they will also click and they will also end up buying. So that's why you get some more attribution loss as your ad budget increases. Okay. But an add to cart is what you're going for. So if your add to cart, let's say on a typical $60 front end product, if your add to cart is above $25, you're probably going to have a really hard time getting profitable. It's the reality of it. Okay. 25 or under is kind of my sweet spot. Are there exceptions to where if you have a higher add to cart rate than $25, it's just blown out of the water and you shouldn't do it anymore? No, like there's always exceptions to the rules, but that's just like generalities, right? I wanted to share general stuff with you. So what we can control to a certain extent on our product pages, number one, the most impactful thing on the product page is the price. Now, how many of you are running a product, you're kind of break even, and you've never changed the price? You're missing out. Now, I'm not always saying sometimes like on everything, if you're kind of break even, make it cheaper and therefore it'll work. Sometimes making the product more expensive will make it work. Sometimes adding $10 to make it $69.95 for the base will actually increase conversions because you're adding more, you're adding that perceived value that the necklace is better than it actually is, right? Than our manufacturer suggested retail price. Sometimes if you're in specific niches that lend themselves to multi-unit orders, something like an offspring or a grandchild type of, or a sister or best friends, something to where naturally someone may say, hey, you know what? I have 3 best friends. I'm going to buy this for all 3 of them. And the quantity goes up to 3 on the front end. That's what I mean by a natural multi-unit order. Okay. the biggest determining factor of if someone's going to add to cart is the price. Next is the page speed. Now, the cool thing about page speed is if you're using like a new Dawn theme or a Shopify 2.0 theme and or the ShineOn product pages, your load speed is just fine. You don't have to like supercharge it. You don't have to go and super worry about it. You're pretty much good to go. It's not necessarily the fastest thing on planet Earth, especially if you have a lot of apps that load on the product page. That's really going to slow you down, and you're going to have to double check your page speed. You really shouldn't be above 2 second largest or main content load time. So the main content should not load longer than 2 seconds. When I first started in Shopify, my page speed was like over 4 seconds, and I was still super profitable, right? So it's not the end all be all end of the world if your page speed's terrible. But ways you can control it is making sure you don't have a ton of images that aren't compressed or made into SVGs. And then a lot of third-party apps will slow it down. One of which is Customly. Customly does take a few extra seconds. So like the page will load mostly, and then you'll get a second load of Customly stuff loading. So you may want to do like a static product, and then in the description had links to, hey, do you want to customize this? Click here to customize, because that makes them a little bit more committed to the process. However, I haven't really seen a drastic increase in page speed. Excuse me, page load time, meaning decreasing page speed by having Customly on it, those customizable fields. So just throwing that out there. If you've got a bunch of apps that load on your product page, that's going to slow it down. And you'll probably want to remove most of them. Most of the extra bells and whistles on the apps and stuff like that the app developers say are great and will give you lots of increase in add to carts really don't produce anything. It's just marketing for you to get your app or their app, excuse me. All right. So number one is price. Speed is good. And then simplicity. Ease. Don't make people think. Don't make them figure out what your add to shop. Where's the add to shopping bag button? Where's the add to cart button? How do I select variants? Make it easy. The less options they have, the better. Period. The simpler you can make it, the better. Okay? So I would never have more unless it's a customizable product. Meaning I've got like three, I'm doing my best friends, and I've got I'm using Customly's caricature people, and I've got 3 ladies, which means I need 3 sets of hair color, 3 sets of hairstyle, 3 shirts, 3 pants, and maybe like I've seen them with like customizable drinks. So one wants wine, one wants a margarita, one wants coffee, right? Like those options exist. So that's a lot more fields to customize than the 2 variant options you're seeing on the screen right now. I get that, okay? The way to mitigate that, or people leaving because like, holy crap, that's a lot of things. It's you do it in sort of steps. It's like step 1, how many people do you want? 3, cool. And then after you click 3, then it's like person 1 is this. What hair do you want? And then it's like, then as they make that commitment to build it, then the next section opens up. Then the next section opens up. You're not landing on a page and seeing, holy cow, there's 45 things I got to fill out. Screw that, I'm done, right? Because that's what people think, because we're lazy. So simplicity, making your buttons stand out from the rest of the product page is key. Making sure that it's easily found is key. And you remove things that aren't necessary. So if you're doing a soulmate, a wife, something along a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, something that you really only should have one of, right? Like most people only have one girlfriend or one husband or whatever. Remove the quantity button. It's not necessary. Now, it requires a little bit of coding, but if you really want to remove it, you'll figure it out. It's not super duper hard, okay? There's plenty of tutorials online on YouTube and in the chat forums and stuff like that. believe it or not, I do not have a marketing background. I do not have a business background, and I do not have a technology background. Everything I've learned about how to do CSS, how to customize a Shopify store, I learned on my own, just like you guys, right? I searched Google. Google was my best friend. I looked at YouTube tutorials, and over the years, I've now figured out I don't need all the training wheels, right? Like there's sometimes where if I want to change something in CSS, I'll Google it again just to make sure I've got the right, selector thingy. So yeah, Andy says, I believe customly allows all those settings, just need a degree to learn it all. LOL. So it's not necessarily you need a degree, but you have to look at this as, is this a business you're building to change your life? Or is this a hobby you want to dip your toe in? Now, there's nothing wrong with either. There isn't, right? Like if I want $100 a month off of this, and so that I can take my wife out to dinner once a month, that's a fantastic and honorable and amazing goal. Okay. But there are some of you that you want to change your life with this stuff. You want to get out of your 9-to-5. You want to do this for a living. So if that's your goal, and I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it should be, but if it is, you have to be willing to learn new skills. And you have to be willing to overcome the obstacles that you are going to run into. You are going to run into hard times. You are going to run into roadblocks. You are going to run into things that don't easily go your way. But if you're committed to making this a business that replaces your current income and lifestyle for permanent, then that's the sacrifice you have to be willing to make. And if it's just a hobby and you want to make a little bit of money, fantastic. We give you the out-of-the-box stuff that will convert just fine. You don't have to do any of this stuff. I'm just saying, if you want to squeak out every extra add to cart, every extra addition that you can add to your AOV, these are the things you have to think about. This separates the people that have a real business that will make money year in and year out and grow it and provide the lifestyle that they want, versus someone who just wants to make a little bit of extra cash. And again, there is zero wrong with whatever your goal is. I don't know you. I don't know what your family needs. I don't know what you need. You do, right? I'm just saying that if you want to be in the $100,000 a month club, $1 million club, or whatever, if you've got big, lofty goals, you got to get in some uncomfortable situations and learn some new skills if you don't have them. I did. Okay. And I'm just saying that from not on high. I've had a really long road of figuring out how to do all this stuff. Okay. All right. So price is the biggest. The price will influence whether or not you have add to carts or not. Right. Don't believe me? Take this price and make it $159.95 and see what that does to your add to cart rate. Then make it $9.95 and see what it does to your add to cart rate. Okay. Price is the number one determining factor of what the add to cart rate will be. Your job as a business owner is to figure out what is the ideal price on the front end so that I get people to buy that, and what can I offer them on the back end in the upsell to add back my profit I gave up by if I have to lower the price on the front end. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you can increase the price. But if you're testing, I'll just rephrase. Your testing should go testing niches, testing phrases, finding something that's got a potential, test creatives to verify, then test price to see which one's going to give you the best overall ROI. Okay? Okay. So the goal of the product page, again, is to get add to cart rate up. Things you can control to get add to cart rate up: price, number one, simplicity, and then speed is taken care of if you're using the most modern stuff, right? Which most of you are. And then simplicity. All right. So that is step number two. Step number three is the cart page. This is a picture of the ShineOn cart page. I think we do a very, very good job of putting the correct elements on here to help entice people to click that proceed to checkout button. And then also to calm some fears if people don't know if they should get in or get out or whatever. Okay. So if you look, the goal of the cart page now is to navigate them from the cart page to the checkout. If you've got a slider, like if you're on the Dawn theme and they've got that little pop out thing, stop using that. Don't use that. Guess how I know that? I tested it. It didn't work well. Go to the cart page. In your settings, online store, custom online store theme, customize. In the top drop down, you'll see cart. Go to cart and then change the type of cart. It'll say like pop up and then drawer and then page. Change it to page, please. Okay. All right. That's that tip there. The countdown clock is great. I love the countdown clock. If you're using the ShineOn add to cart, you'll have the package protection. That's an easy $3 extra per order. 80% of people you leave that on. Proceed to checkout. Now, I will allow you to either write proceed to checkout or continue to checkout with a little arrow. That's Unicode. If you don't know what Unicode is, go up to Google, search Unicode right arrow, and then copy it and go there. Where do I change the text, Jim? You do that by the default setting. So again, you're in online store, theme, and then next to customize is 3 little dots. You click the 3 little dots, you scroll down, and it's like at the bottom, it's like change default, whatever. It used to be languages, but they changed it last year. So it's change the defaults, and then you just search whatever is the defaults on here. Whatever your store says, there's a search bar in all of it. Search it, it'll come up. And then you want to change it to either proceed to checkout or continue to checkout. Right now, I think with my current testing, continue gave it a little bit of a nudge, but it's not super dramatic. But adding proceed to checkout with the arrow is okay versus what's currently there, which I think is just says checkout. Okay. All right. So that is the cart page and what you can do to kind of tweak it. It's really just this button. Okay. And then finally in the checkout, we don't have a lot that you can do in the checkout unless you're on Shopify Plus. There's very few situations where it would be appropriate for you to be on Shopify Plus. No offense to Shopify. Okay. The call out that I can give you here is make sure you use a customizable logo. You can see that in the top here on the left side. And then you want to have your store's logo there. That's the thing that's grayed out. And then over to the right, you'll see 100% safe checkout, and it's got like a little shield and a Shopify thing. Add that. Search for it. 100% safe checkout, Shopify. Add that to your logo. This is all one image, okay? With the grayed out thing, imagine the grayed out thing's not there. There's a logo, and then this little safe checkout-y thing is on the right side of it. Create a logo in Canva or in Photoshop or whatever. Make sure you have something that says 100% safe checkout with a little shield, and it's like something about 256-bit encryption, and then Shopify secure. Okay. This little call out next to the logo did add conversion rate to it. Also, the other call out I'll give you is when Shopify allows your specific store. I'll answer that question in a minute, Martin. When Shopify allows your specific Shopify store to switch to the one-page checkout, do so. They're in beta now. They've rolled it out to a few stores. Not every store has it. I have no idea what they use to select which stores get it and which stores don't. But when it does come available, switch to the one-page checkout versus the multi-page. Okay, so that's checkout, right? Okay, we're done. We're through. No, we're not. We're not done. We need to go to make sure that you have a properly upsell funnel added to it. Okay. Whoops. This is the number one easiest way to build your AOV. Now, it depends on what niche you're going to. Think about your niche and think about whom else is the buyer during Christmas time, during holiday sale season, would be more likely or need other gifts for. Example, I sell a product from dad to daughter. Okay. So I just sold, I sold a dad to buy a necklace for his daughter. What should I show them in the upsell? Well, you should start with soulmate or wife, because you know it's a guy who bought it for the daughter, because the message card literally says from dad or from, papa or whatever, if it's customized. So you want to sell it to the love interest. So soulmate, wife, and then the downsell one, upsell two is always the same product. Let me say that again. This is upsell 1. This is downsell 1, upsell 2. These 2 slots will have the exact same product in it. It's because Shopify limits the flow. All people who buy come into the funnel, the upsell funnel. Everybody sees upsell 1 and they say yes or no. If they say yes, I want upsell 1, then they will see upsell 2. And then they'll see the thank you page. When a customer comes in and sees upsell 1, if they say no, then they go to downsell 1 and then the thank you page. That's why your offer is always the same. And yes, I understand that PayPal does, well, it's not PayPal. Shopify does not allow third-party processors to go into the post-purchase sequence. So if you have a customer and you have Sezzle or PayPal or any other third-party payment processor, they will direct you from that processor directly to the thank you page. Not because they can't technically send it to the upsell. They don't want you to. They refuse to. They limit you. Okay? So on my store, out of every 10 sales, I'd say 6 or 7 of them go through Shop Pay, which will go through the upsell. Okay? And then 3 or 4 of them will go through like PayPal. And those are my 2 main processors. I think I have Google Pay, Apple Pay, and I don't do Amazon Pay because I have to like get the money from Amazon. It's a whole nother setup. So yes, I acknowledge that not every single person is going to go through the post-purchase upsell sequence. However, everybody sees the thank you page, and OCU offers the thank you page upsell opportunity, which everybody should use. Okay. So at the very least, if I would have one product that correlates with what you're doing, another correlated product for downsell 2, downsell 1, upsell 2, and then a thank you page offer. So it could be another catch-all. And again, you can program this stuff to be product specific. So if you have lots of different products, lots of different niches, you could specifically say, if they buy this product, they go to this funnel sequence. If they buy this product, it goes through this funnel sequence. Now, I know ShineOn has its own post-purchase upsell feature. If you have access to it, use it. It's a good feature. I'm not saying anything against that feature. It does not currently allow you to do thank you pages, the thank you page upsell. So if I had to choose and tell you what's really best, if you have access to it and you do not want to pay an additional charge to OCU or any post-purchase upsell app, use the ShineOn stuff if you have access to it. If you don't, and you're looking at, should I go or should I not go? I'm telling you what I personally use. I'm not telling you not to use the ShineOn one. I love ShineOn stuff. We work really hard for it. I just like the ability to have a thank you page offer. Okay, it helps. Every little bit helps, right? Okay, so that is number 5, post-purchase upsell. I was not originally going to tell you this, but I'm gonna, because I love you guys. There is probably one of the largest myths in all of e-commerce, and y'all are going to sit there and say, that's not true, Jim. Cool. I'll continue to make hand over fist money on it, and you cannot. But I'm going to tell you what to do with it, and you can make the choice to try it or not. It's not my business. It's yours. A buddy of mine told me this back in 2016 or 17, not sure which. And he let me know about how free shipping is a total scam for us, for merchants. If you are only selling your products with free shipping, you are losing money. I have had shipping on every product I have sold since 2000, and whenever I had that conversation with that buddy of mine, and I'll say 2017 just for consistency's sake. Since 2017, I have charged $5.95 flat rate shipping on all of my products. In one store where stuff was really heavy, I actually just did calculate it plus a buffer, so I made some money on my shipping. And will that lower conversion rates? A little bit, a tiny, tiny little bit. However, the money you make is free profit. And the money you make will make you more money than the money you lose by the drop in conversion rate. So let me keep it simple for you. If you're only doing free shipping and you want to make $6 more per order, charge $5.95 shipping. If you want to believe the myth that free shipping increases conversion rate and that's the way to go for it. Okay? I'm just telling you that I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of shipping, just shipping. Okay, and I'll leave that at that. All right, we done the post-purchase. That, my friends, is it. That is your funnel. And if you have issues in your data, it's not all the product's fault. It's not all the ad's fault. If your ad is getting great interaction, good CTRs, your ad is getting CPC links under $2, and you're not profitable, your issue lies deeper down the funnel. It is not the product. It is not the ad. It is either load speed, your price is too high, your description is crappy, and you couldn't convey the value high enough. Your add to cart is a pop-up, or you're using the default thing on the DOM theme and you didn't go to page. There's something down the funnel that is screwing up your profitability. And the data in the ads show what step is wrong. You look at CPC link. If that's good, go to add to cart. What's my cost per add to cart? If I got sub $2 link clicks and I got $35, $40 add to carts, my price sucks. I either need to do a much better job of convincing the customer that my product is worth the price I'm asking, or I need to change the price. Now, that does not necessarily mean I have to lower the price. Test both, because it is real that some people you could have a pocket of people that are like, man, something's off here. If this thing's only $50 and it looks like a really nice necklace, it should be like 70 or 80. It must be a scam. I'm not going to buy it. That is a real thing. That really does happen. So you have to split test the price on both. If you have sub $2 link clicks, sub $20 or $25 add to carts, and your initiate checkout is $40-something, something's wrong with your cart page. Okay. Do you see how the ad data that you can look at in Facebook or TikTok tells you where your problem is in your funnel? And I just walked you through how you split test all the stuff in your funnel. So when you are running your stuff, look at it, segment it by steps in the funnel. It is not all the heavy lifting of the ad is to get you to the product page. That's it. Okay. Okay. All right. So I need, I'm all finished with all. I'll get off my soapbox. Hopefully that was helpful and insightful and you learned stuff. Let me go back through and answer some of the questions. If you have questions that you've been waiting to ask while I scroll up to answer these, feel free to add them to the comments. I'll hang out for a few minutes and answer questions, and then I'll let you guys get back to your Friday. So let's see. Do you need previous ad sales for Facebook to know who to target? Nope. Sure don't. Grammy, you don't. Okay. Facebook knows your product. It looks, when it's in the review process of your ad, whether it's a video or an image, it's looking at your ad and saying, what's this person selling? And then it's like, oh, this person's selling a necklace. Oh, this person's selling a necklace from a dad to his daughter. Okay, I'll show products. I'll show this product to people who like their daughter. That's how crazy the algorithm is now. Okay. What is my ad set budget and placements for testing? So my budget it depends on how many different variables products I'm testing at once. If I'm only testing like 10 products at a time, I'll budget like $30 per ad set, and I will do an ABO. So it's the campaign is niche. So whatever niche I'm doing the test in, it'll be like, here's granddaughter. We'll do that one. Granddaughter campaign. And then my ad sets, will be the different products. Okay, so one ad set will be product one, and then I'll do my my dynamic creative stuff. Okay, with the 3 images and blah blah blah. And then I'll do ad set 2 is product 2. Ad set 3 is product 3. And then I'll set my budget on the ad set level. If I'm only testing like 10, I'll usually do like $30 per ad set budget. That does not mean I spend $30 per ad set. I budget $30 per ad set to see what the market's going to do with which product. And most of the time when I run, one of two things happens. Almost every time, 2 or 3 of the products just suck. They just don't get any traction at all. So that makes it really easy to kill them. And then most of the time, somewhere around 4 to 7 of them are like, okay. And then I might have one that kind of stands out. So it's easy to say, well, you just got to let them run more, right? Just let them run more. And then the real winner will identify itself. True, but I don't really want to waste a lot of money, right? Like I like my money where it is in my pocket. I don't want to give my money to Facebook. So a Q4, be aggressive with your cutting. If you test 10 products and one of them is outpacing the rest of them, kill them. Kill all the other 9 and then just focus on the one. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. If I'm testing a lot of products, like 50, 60, 70 products at once, then I will drop my ad set budget down to $10, because usually after $10, I can tell which products are going to give me a chance of winning. And by that, I mean, if I'm spending $8 to $10 and I don't have 4 or 5 link clicks, that product's dead. Because what does that math work out to? It means the cost per link click is over $2, right? So if you're on a tight budget, I'd say $10 per ad set. Let it run for at least $8. And if you don't have 4 link clicks after the $8, then probably not going to work. It's the reality of it. Okay. Next question. Do you still recommend DCT over targeted audience option if your product design's humor does actually only carry appeal to a niche target audience? Okay. So DCT does not limit your targeted options. You could, if you want to do targeted audience, you can do that and do a DCT ad. The DCT is just the ad structure itself. Okay. So you can still pick, clowns as your interest or whatever, funny jokes, dark humor, whatever, frat boy, whatever your interest is. You can still do that and then run DCT ads. So that's not a limiting factor there. I personally would still run open broad on, even if it's a niche style thing. Oh, very cool. My son just came in to say hi, everybody. Here, come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. Hi, everybody. He just got back from the store, and evidently Mama forgot that I was on this. So apologize. That's Cooper. He's going to turn 3 on Monday. It's really cool. Oh, you want to show him? Here you go. Show him. There you go. You got your helicopter. There you are. All right. Dada's got to work. Okay. Dada's answering some questions. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to run broad on everything and DCT. Now, even with, I've got some real niche-y stuff, some super niche-y stuff. Like, I have a whole business around super niche-y stuff, and I still run broad. Why? Because Facebook knows where to find those people. That's like the mindset shift that we have to start to navigate. I'm not saying you have to go cold turkey and not do the targeting and all that stuff. If you got something working, run what's working. Don't abandon what you're doing just because some goofball on an internet thing told you to do something different, right? I'm telling you what's working for me. I have a very, very, very niche store. Something like, if you were to look at the actual interest target on it is a grand total of 3.8 million people in all of the United States. And my ads that I'm running right now that are profitable are 0 targeting. So that's my own personal experience. I'm not saying that's what you're going to experience. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just telling you what I am doing. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So Grammy wants to know, where do we learn how to work with CSS? Well, I would not recommend taking a whole-blown course on CSS. Okay. I wouldn't. What I would do is say, hey, I want to change the background, the color of the add to cart button on a Shopify page. So I would literally Google how do I change the color of the add to cart button in Shopify? The two biggest skills that you need to learn for CSS is figuring out how to identify the class name. Write this down. Figure out how to identify the class name or the ID, and then figure out, then you can like just do W3 schools. W3 schools is search like change color, right? Change color of a button. And then change color of a button in CSS. And then it'll spit out like how you do that, like what the little thing is and the format and all of that. Then the only thing you need to do is once you have the CSS, you have to apply it to the right identifier. And that's where I'm telling you is to figure out how to find the correct identifier in a Shopify thing. Now, here's a real cool hack for you guys. You can take a page on Shopify, take your Shopify page, your normal store, right click it and click inspect. Is it inspect element? Inspect, just inspect. Okay. Then you can get a window will pop out and you'll get like HTML thing. Copy the whole HTML, the area of what you want to change, like the button. Then go into ChatGPT, paste the thing into ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, I want to change the color of the add to cart button. What's the right identifier? And it'll tell you. Right? So it's like, it's not necessarily that you need to go take a whole course on CSS. This is just how I hack my way through of how to do CSS changes. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. What about the lock on the cart page button? So yeah, if we go back to cart page, there's a little lock there. That is also a Unicode. You can add that. I have stores. I haven't seen a giant difference, honestly, between having this and not having it. Most of my stores have proceed to checkout, or actually, I think now because the checkout itself says continue to shipping, continue to payment. I changed it to continue to checkout, and it's working fine for me. So I have continue to checkout with the little arrow. That's all I use. What about the log? PayPal, can you please show us an example of a thank you page offer? Martin, I don't have one readily available for a thank you page offer, but it's the same thing. It's the same product. You're going to pick a product, right? So if you initially sold, a daughter, like if you sold it from a dad, meaning more than likely to have a soulmate, I would more than likely offer a different soulmate product. Something along those lines. If it was a grandchild, I might even offer this, like if I do a grandkids front end, so like granddaughter, grandson, my upsell one, honestly, is the same exact product, just cheaper. Try it. I know it sounds really silly, but it works. So it's just, so whatever they bought already, offer, hey, you want another one? And offer it cheaper. And then the description be like, whether you have a second grandchild that you want, or you want to give it to a friend of yours who has a grandchild, you know, this will complete it. And we want to spread joy as much as we can. So we're going to offer even cheaper, right? Something like that. But the thank you page offer, Martin, is just, it's the same process. You would just pick one of your products in your store. How do you recommend making product videos for scaling purposes? Honestly, I would buy our sample kit or buy a sample. Like if you're only going to run one necklace or something along those lines, if you're in our message card stuff, I would order the necklaces that you're going to use, or the sample kit if you want all of it. So you've got the box and stuff like that. And then I would get some cardstock paper and then just print up your message card on your home printer, cut it out, and then stick it behind there, and then walk around and do it homegrown. Like on your cell phone, real low production quality. Those style of videos work really, really well. Okay. Let's see. When testing, should we start with a $5 budget or a $10 budget? You should start with as much as you're willing to spend. It's a crappy answer, I know, but it's true. You can make better decisions with more data, which means you're spending more money. So you have to determine what does that mean for you. If your budget is at $5, then like when I got started, it was a $5 budget and you let it run for 3 days. So I committed $15 per test. So if I'm doing 10 products at a time, that's $150 over 3 days. What I've learned over the time is I could just budget $15 for the 10 on one day and get the answers in one day that are relatively the same. Am I going to miss something in there by having 1 day of data versus 3? Yes. But the reality is, if we're only buying $15 worth of data anyway, none of it's super statistically significant anyways, right? So the best answer I can give you is pick the budget that you can comfortably spend, that you're not going to, you're not taking food off your table. You're not going to stay up at night because you spent it. Run it the very best that you can. That's the best answer I can give you there. I've used free shipping and charged for shipping. Free shipping didn't work as well as charge for shipping. If people want your product, they will pay for shipping. Yep. I mean, I've been doing it forever, and everybody that every new person I talk to in e-commerce, when I say I never do free shipping, they're like, oh, blasphemy, you have to do free shipping. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep making my $6 per order. So again, it's up to you guys. Do you have experience with prices in Europe, Germany for $2 an inch? I have not personally sold in Germany or Europe. So I'm not, I can give you an opinion, but it's not an expert opinion because I've never done it. What I've seen is the 49 to 59 euro range is just fine for products. The best and most accurate answer to any marketing question, which this technically is a marketing question, is test it. And that's a crappy answer because you just want the answer. And unfortunately, your situation, your product, your variables are all unique to your store. So unfortunately, you're going to have to test. What would I start with? Somewhere between 49 and 59 euro, see what the add to cart rate is, and then start playing with it. Do I increase price? How low does it go? Because you have to judge it, right? Common sense would tell us if we increase price, more than likely that's going to decrease conversion rate. Just like if I add shipping, more than likely I'm going to lose a little bit of conversion rate. But here's the rub of it, right? It's more about what's going to make me more money at the end of the day. If I increase price to $69 and my conversion rate drops by 0.1%, yeah, I have a less conversion rate. Totally get that. But I just made $10 more per order. Therefore, I'm bringing home more money. What pays our bills? What buys our groceries, right? Conversion rates or money. So that's what I would go with on determining what works and what doesn't. What countries do you target during my broad testing? I do US, Canada, and Mexico. I'm a North American guy. I'm not saying you can't do Europe. We've got a great Europe facility. Me personally, that's just what I have set up. I think there's a humongous untapped honey hole in Europe for if you're willing to do the little bit of extra legwork to have VAT set up properly and to get your products translated. It is a little bit more work because each country kind of has their own language for the most part. But because of those extra little steps, most people don't want to go there. So, if you're willing to do the extra little bit of work, you have a lot less competition. That means don't put any interest at all, even if I target the dog niche, for example. Absolutely. Yep. Because guess what? Facebook's algorithm or TikTok's algorithm is going to read your product. It's going to read it. It's going to read your message and know that you're buying it for someone who likes pets, someone who likes dogs. And trust me, it knows who likes dogs. Okay. You don't try it, right? Like, prove me wrong, I guess. Do something like dogs or pet training or dog training or dog food or whatever, or breeds of dogs, and split test it against just broad and see what's best. Worst case scenario, it costs you $15 if you're doing a $5 test over 3 days, right? This is gold. I will need to rewatch this many times. Do you have a suggestion on what click funnels to use? Shopify. I still use Shopify as my funnel. I've done ClickFunnels. I've done all different types of standalone funnels, and none of them have worked as well as a normal e-commerce store funnel. Okay. So when I say funnel, I mean, think of it like I've got ads, I've got my product page, I've got my cart page, I've got my checkout, I've got my post-purchase. That's your funnel, right? So Shopify has that. You do ads to a Shopify product page, to the Shopify cart, to the Shopify checkout, to the Shopify post-purchase. So cool. I'll have to let everybody know I got to the so cute for Cooper. Yep. Do you only use ABO for testing? Yes. Yeah, because I want to limit the number of campaigns in each ad account, David. So I'll do a niche for each campaign that I'm testing. And then in the ad set, I'll do each product. And then I'll do the 3 ads or the DCT ad with the variations. So to control where the money goes, I'll do ABO for testing. And then I'll switch to, once I identify which ones I'm doing, then I'll break it out. If I'm going to scale more than one product, I'll break it out into their own individual campaigns, especially if they're different niches, because I'll optimize differently. And I will switch it to CBO. So once I'm down to like a specific product in a specific campaign, then I'll do CBO. But most of the time, my structures now is one campaign. If I'm going to do different ad sets on the same product, it's because I'm doing different creatives. So like I'll have ABO budget or CBO budget, doesn't really matter. And then I'll add like an extra. If I'm going to add an ad set, I'll add the ad set, I'll dupe it. And then that's because the DCT ad is going to have 3 new ad creatives. So either images or videos or whatever. And I'll run that correspondingly, like at the same time, conjunctively. I don't know the right adjective there. But at the same time, if that makes sense. What level do you recommend customized product for male buyers? Is it distracting? I'm not sure I understand the question. I'd recommend for male buyers. Oh, you mean like the number of different customizable fields? Men are dumb. We're lazy beans. In general, when we're shopping, we want a super, super simple process. So I would say 1 to 2 text fields. I think it'd be kind of cool for me to like, I think I as an individual guy, if I'm buying for my daughter calls me dad. So I don't really need a customizable feature for dad. But I do call her my sweetie pie. So instead of saying to my amazingly stunning daughter, if I had the ability to say to my sweetie pie, or if it's to my wife, to my honey bunny, love your babe, you know, so judge on what you're doing. Like if it's a couple, meaning a soulmate wife, something, that type of relationship, I would do 2 customizable fields, 1 for the nickname of who I'm buying for, and 1 so I can put in my nickname. Because of course you're going to have if you have a nickname for your spouse, they have a nickname for you. Cool. How many people have more than one daughter, et cetera? Great ideas. Most. More than 50%. And that's why you should also on the upsell absolutely do a son product. If your front end product is daughter and your back end product should be your post product should have son somewhere. If your front end product is son, then your back end product, your post purchase upsell should absolutely have a daughter in there, because the likelihood that people have more than one offspring are very, very high, and the likelihood they have 1 of each at least are very, very high. Case in point, I got 2 boys and a girl, so I went boy, girl, boy. It's biology, I think. I don't know. Some people are blessed with like 5 girls or 3 boys, and I get that. But you give people options, you run enough traffic through it. And if you look, I added on this funnel, and this was just a test funnel, I added $2.27 and $10.89. So think of that. Every order on average, every order received like $12 extra revenue, profit. So my I guess revenue. So if my front end 60 and I charge 6 for shipping, so that's 66 plus 12. Now I'm at an $80 AOV, right? Are you going to be able to afford more, to have a higher CPA on your ads with an $80 CPA versus a AOV versus a $60 AOV? Do you recommend SMS for abandoned carts? Is it safe to do with the regulations? Yeah, Martin, I do SMS for abandoned carts. It is totally safe because the way that Shopify sets it up is it's unchecked by default. So someone physically has to check the box to subscribe to an SMS list. So when they physically, like, they're opting in, and that's the whole point of the regulations, is that they want people to opt in, not have to opt out. Does that make sense? For us. Okay, this is awesome. What percentage of your sales come from email marketing? It depends on the store. Martin, for ShineOn specific products, stores, my average email sales are about 11% of total revenue. I have a different store that's not ShineOn related, and it's 40%. So it just depends. Like ShineOn stuff is very gift one buy oriented. That's why we focus a lot on the first sale and maximizing AOV from the first sale. I would absolutely, like, if you've got email stuff set up, which you all should, I would inundate them with like 24-hour offers after they buy. Because after like 48 hours after they buy, the likelihood drops from like 50% down to 11%, 9% that they're going to buy from you again. Is anyone using Canva? Never used the neon effect. It does not look good on the final product. Okay. Do you use quantity bundle apps? I don't use a quantity bundle app because they have it built in now. Shopify has it built in. So if you buy X, you can do that. You can also make bundles now. So you can have like 5 different products and then put them all together. But they have that stuff natively in Shopify. What cart countdown timer do you recommend? The one that ShineOn provides. So I use I'll use the ShineOn product page, which allows me to use the ShineOn cart. I'm sorry, I'm just getting here. If we turn on the ShineOn post-purchase upsell on Shopify, it will work, right? Yes, but you have to select which products. So the question is, if we have the ShineOn upsell for post-purchase, will it work? Yes, it will work. You just have to select your products in the ShineOn app. All right. I am at my 126 mark. It is 12:17. I am so thankful that you all decided to hang out with me for an hour and a half. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a lot. And I can't wait to see your results and your tests on this Q4. It's going to be absolutely an amazing Q4. So buckle up. We are 3 weeks away from scaling to start. So if you haven't started testing yet, you have to start testing now. Okay. So get going on your tests, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.